You're listening to the Drive Forward podcast. We're cruising through the latest in transportation to inspire a better tomorrow.
Welcome to the third episode of the Drive Forward podcast. I'm your host, Emily Jankowski. Today, we're chatting with Zhang, the Chief Engineer of Electrical and Innovation Technology at the City of Chicago. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today, Zhang. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Maybe start off by telling me a little bit about your role at the City of Chicago.
My name is Zhang. I'm the Chief Engineer, Electrical and Innovation Technology for the City of Chicago. Proud to be a U of I grad. I oversee City of Chicago's energy, electrical, and innovation technology programs in collaboration with our federal, state, local, academia, and industry partners.
Wonderful. Well, it sounds like you're working with a lot of the innovative technology that's happening today, and I think one of those innovative technologies is certainly sensors. How do you think sensors are moving the City of Chicago forward, especially in consideration of the city's lighting?
Sure. Before I answer your question, I'd like to say a few thanks to my colleague at U of I that I've been working with for last few years. We're grateful for their support. President Tim Clean, Dr. Clean, Chancellor Jones, Provost Andreas Kangleris, who happened my professor when I was at UIUC. Of course, Team Bashar, thanks for their leadership and guidance. And Dr. Imad Al-Qadi, great support. And also a few professors and deans and chairs from University of Illinois at Chicago as well, Professor Daniela, Rashid, and Milos. I just want to say a few thanks to them before I start. To answer your question, there are a number of sensor technology projects that we're working on right now, mostly especially in smart city arena, just to name a few. There are smart energy, smart lighting, smart transportation, smart power lanes, smart environment, smart policing, and 5G. One good program to talk about is the smart lighting program. So it's a 4-year, $160 million program. So basically to replace and upgrade city lights to LED technology from older technology, and also implement a lighting management system, utilize the latest technology, sensor technology, data science, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence to provide a safer and more reliable lighting management system. So why are we doing this? What are the benefits for this program? So first, the new technology, the LED lights last typically 2 or 3 times longer than the existing high pressure sodium lights, and it's consumed 50% less electricity than existing lights. So we did a statistic shows over 10 years, it's going to be over $100 million saving for the city energy. So that's number one. And second is because of this LED technology, there's renewable energy efficiency technology. So city would be able to get rebates, incentive from states and ComEd. Sure. So that'll calculate roughly about $50 million during 5 years for construction. And lastly, but not least, during construction, you would be able to award contract to minority-owned business, women-owned business, Chicago residents made in Illinois, and helps socioeconomically disadvantaged area to grow their economy.
Wow, that sounds really interesting, and it sounds like it'll be a really powerful tool for the city, and just sounds like it's on the up and up all around. You know, during your chat about the city's upgrading of its lighting, you mentioned 5G technology. Some of this 5G technology we see oftentimes is sitting on overhead street lighting, right, to provide greater connectivity. What's been maybe your involvement with moving this technology along, and how do you see it benefiting the public?
Right. So 5G is next generation mobile network that is designed to connect virtually everything together, including machines, objects, and devices. I always like to say 1G is described as how you crawl, 2G describe how you walk, and 3G, how you run, and 4G, you compete at Olympics. And next level, 5G, is you learn how to fly. So 5G is very, very important. There are different aspects, right? First, it connects everything together, and it has a ultra low latency, a massive capacity. So that allow a lot of communication application to become reality, which is one of them would be autonomous vehicles, because we know that in transportation, between the connection with traffic to the drivers, there is no, you can't have any delays between the communication, because that's going to have a high risk of accident. So this 5G is so fast, and that make autonomous vehicles application into reality. To give you an update, so a 5G group is under me. So we're working with different telecom company to identify, they have a way of calculate where to put their antennas, radio and power supply equipment in light poles or in the buildings to cover it, have a good coverage for the 5G. So our team is working closely with them to identify those locations. Currently, we have about 5,000 location approved, and potentially there will be more this year. I certainly see 5G is coming very soon.
Wow, that's really exciting to hear, just how much legwork's been made on this effort so far. You mentioned autonomous vehicles, and in terms of transportation, we're certainly at a pivotal moment in history with electric vehicles on the rise and autonomous vehicles just on the horizon. I know one of the things that you're currently researching is smart powered lanes. Maybe tell me a little bit about this technology and how the city of Chicago anticipates implementing it.
First, for the state of Illinois, the goal is to achieve 100% clean energy by 2050. So for city of Chicago, we're taking a step further. Our goal is 100% renewable energy by the year 2040. The goal was drafted by the city council and signed by previous Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. A sub-goal for that is for CTA, Chicago Transit Authority, to convert its 1,800 buses to electric power by the year 2040. So I know I'm working with a lot of my colleagues at CTA to implement that process to achieve that goal. This smart power lane project is also a collaboration with the CTA. The idea is, it's still in concept stage, but the idea is right now the buses would be able to stationary charge when they are stopped at the bus stop. But the idea for smart power lane is to embed the chargers underneath the pavement. So enable when bus running on the road, it will be able to dynamically charge the bus to achieve its ultimate goal to save time. So we're still at a very, very early stage. We'll look at the feasibility of this project, the fundings, the maintenance cost, capital cost, the feasibilities, and working with our partners to see how and when to implement this project.
That's really interesting. And I think it's neat that you're able to brainstorm what possibly some of this futuristic smart infrastructure is going to look like. And I think it sounds like this technology could certainly be a segue for autonomous vehicles. How's the city of Chicago preparing for futuristic transportation like autonomous vehicles?
People can argue, some people say autonomous vehicles are here, and some would say it's a future technology, it's coming very fast. So depending on your perspective, you both are right. There is so much effort and funding from federal level, state, local, and private, Google and Tesla, just to name a few, and industry to research and develop the prototype and technology. So we're talking about autonomous cars, truck, semi. Elon Musk just announced Tesla gonna spend a lot of effort on autonomous semi yesterday. So construction earth moving equipment from Caterpillar, agriculture, autonomous equipment, John Deere, commercial drones. There are a number of companies working on that. But safety is number one measure of any case. In order to make it possible, they have to prove that to the public that there's safety, it's safe to drive, especially on local streets and traffic congested area. So this involves a lot of extensive research, engineering, modeling, prototype, and testing, trying to cover all possible scenarios. There are challenges out there, but I remain optimistic.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, you mentioned, some of the industry's efforts in getting this technology up and running, and certainly, making sure safety is the number one priority. And I know here at Illinois Center for Transportation, we're also hoping to build the Illinois Autonomous and Connected Track, which is a high-speed connected and autonomous vehicle track at the former Chanute Air Force Base here in Rantoul, Illinois. How do you foresee, university-led test tracks like this maybe helping push autonomous vehicle technology forward?
It's very important. I've been working with Dr. Imad on this, and his leadership plays a very important role to this project. And also, I've been in discussion with Dr. Colleen, Dr. Sidel, Chancellor Jones, and Dean Bashar as well, talking about the goals and some of the initiative for this project. I would call this a crown jewel of autonomous vehicle technology testing site. So especially with support from, like you mentioned, the Rantoul government, local government, to make real estate available, Governor Pritzker's efforts for state funding, IDOT support, Secretary Omar support. And there are so many private partners around the world. People have high expectation for that project. We all know in the state, there's a lot of world-class research and development efforts. And we have world-class scientists, engineers, especially at the University of Illinois. So this track will translate all those great research and simulation modeling effort into prototype and reality. So allow the real-world testing scenario apply to the vehicles. So I would say it's an extremely important step to bring the future technology close to reality.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for those kind words towards the track. We're certainly excited about it. My last question for you, John, would be, what do you hope your legacy is at the city of Chicago, and how do you hope your efforts there continue to impact the public?
The day I decide to serve public is the day I give it all. So every day I get up, I'm excited because I know I'm going to contribute and work on the things that make a better city and make a big impact to the world. So I'm very excited about, but I want to mention that we couldn't be successful without our partners. So we're enormously grateful for our partners from federal, state, local academia, and industry partners. Thanks again for having me. And again, we're enormously grateful for the partnership with U of I, the Granger College of Engineering, and Illinois Center for Transportation.
Well, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of your ongoing efforts at the city of Chicago. We really appreciate you joining us. And listeners, thank you so much for staying tuned in. We'll see you next time.
The Drive Forward podcast is a production of Illinois Center for Transportation, a research center of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. We invite you to subscribe to the Drive Forward podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Spotify. And while you're there, feel free to like or rate us. Thanks for listening. Keep the conversation rolling by using the hashtag Drive Forward.